around the world that India is really having a hard time right now with COVID. And there is an art auction and satsang. For those of you who don't know that word, satsang means gathering. So it's a gathering of people from around the world who are going to do this auction, and the 100% of the proceeds of the auction go to the COVID India Relief Fund. And these artists who are contributing their work, a lot of them I know. Some of you who have been on our live for many months now know of Scott Haig. He's one of the artists who's going to be auctioning. But many of the artists are award-winning, nationally recognized artists. And this is a great opportunity to not only purchase art, but to contribute in a way that is going to help people who are really suffering right now. So I posted this flyer. I don't know if you guys can see it. Posted this flyer on our Facebook page and our
the Vastu
Creations page, and on Michael's fan page, that's Michael Mastro. And if you go to that, there is an Eventbrite invitation, and it's free to participate. In the very least, you will learn a lot, and you will see beautiful art, and you will have the experience of being in a satsang, which is a wonderful experience of music and knowledge and great stories from people who have been on the same spiritual path as Michael and I have been on for the last 30 years. And they have also, been on it. And a lot of these people who are contributing are also teachers for Art of Living. So, and again, it goes to a great cause. It's COVID relief in India. And I will be mentioning this again at the end of today. And Michael is going to now go into the astrology. And then after that, we're going to talk about the altar placement for our new altar. This is an altar we haven't done together as a community. This is a spirituality altar.
So if you've been reading the blogs that Robin's been writing, this is May is the month of awakening. And so basically today is the last day before the new moon. Some people call it the dark moon. And it's a perfect time, and we're going to do a little meditation today, going through the chakras and releasing whatever no longer serves you, whatever is blocking your ability to manifest whatever you want in this life. And so that's what's tomorrow, the new moon, is set up for new beginnings. So that's the time to set your intention, figure out what you need to do to manifest those particular desires, and then reap the benefits on the full moon, which is towards the end of the month. And so this new moon will be in Aries, and Aries is a fire sign, and it is a very powerful sign to start something new because there's a lot of energy there.
Isn't
a lot
Aries,
of fire.
Aries is new beginnings, right? It's the first
Aries itself is new.
I know that.
So yeah, so it's really powerful time to do it. And then basically what happens for the rest of the month is all the planets that were in Aries, like Sun and Mercury and Venus, are moving into Taurus. Now Taurus, so basically we're moving from a fire sign, Aries, into an earth sign, Taurus. And so fire sign, gave you that energy to do what you needed to do, but there's also a little bit of restless energy there and a little bit of impatience, a little bit of impulsiveness. So as we shift, all these planets start to move into Taurus. Now this is using the sidereal zodiac for Vedic astrology. So, if you're thinking about it in Western terms, it won't be exactly what I'm talking about. But I've found after doing astrology for almost 50 years, the Vedic or sidereal zodiac instead of the Western tropical zodiac is much more accurate in predicting what's happening. So using that sidereal zodiac and these planets moving into Taurus, Taurus is more grounded, more stability. A little bit, you're going to get a little bit more peace during Taurus, because Aries is that kind of agitation to get you to move and do things. And so basically that grounded energy is really going to be beneficial for manifesting, especially when we come to the full moon. So set up the month to figure out what you need to do to manifest those desires, and you'll reap the benefits when the full moon comes. And so the other things that are happening this month is Saturn, Rahu is afflicting Saturn. Rahu is an eclipse point, not known in Western astrology, but Rahu is associated with desire. On one hand, it gives you ambition to get things done, but it's also associated with viruses. And Saturn represents the masses, all of the people of the world. So this affliction is going on until mid-September, and so it shows that, you know, still there are places in the world where this virus, like India, and other places in Africa and things, where the virus is still causing a lot of issues, and hopefully we'll get some respite, you know, when in mid-September, when that the planets start to move away from each other, that affliction isn't as intense. So other things that are happening, you got this one thing that's causing, you know, the viruses to be stirred up in parts of the world, but Jupiter, as we've talked about before, Jupiter's in Aquarius, and that's actually also till probably mid-September, and then Jupiter goes back into Capricorn for a couple of months. But that's helping with the cures. So Jupiter is the opportunity to heal, so giving us the vaccines, and for the humanity. Aquarius is humanity. So it's basically setting up all kinds of things to help humanity move forward, not just the cures, which are the vaccines, but also reforms for humanity, for more equality, etc. And you see this, there's a lot of feminine energy moving that forward. Yesterday was Mother's Day. I hope everyone had a great Mother's Day. All you mothers out there, I really support and want to cherish your nurturing for your family and the planet. And so just that, you know, that feminine energy is really strong to move everything forward now. Let's see, what else is happening?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think right now on the planet, because I'm just listening to what you're saying, and it feels like there's this shadow and light still going on. So even though that maybe there's these planetary moments where we have some relief and the heightened creativity and the divine feminine energy is really moving things forward, the opposite is also true with this kind of still push-pull that's going on.
Yeah, exactly what I was just saying. Rahu is afflicting Saturn and is causing the virus to be cropping up here or there, affecting, you know, the masses, and especially the poorer parts of the population around the world. And then we have this great thing, which is balancing that, you know, which is the Jupiter in Aquarius, providing the healing that's necessary to take care of that. So yeah, it's always there's always something going on balancing each other, and that's the beauty of astrology. You know, you every planet, every house represents some aspect of our life, some signifies something in our life, and there's two sides to it. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I wanted to mention this Friday. It's a very, very auspicious time. So we talked about tomorrow to set your intention, but Friday is Akshaya Trika, which is a very, very auspicious time to manifest. So do a little extra meditation, a little writing and igniting your altar, especially on Friday. Very, very powerful time. And so remember, these are very general things I'm talking about with the planets and how the planetary periods and how they're affecting us. To really know more about your own chart and how these planets are truly affecting you, because every chart is a little bit different, we suggest that you get a yearly astrology reading, and there you'll really learn how to harness these planetary energies and how you can use them to propel yourself forward towards success and truly manifesting your desires. And we're actually having a special about that this month that Robin will talk about. But that's kind of it. There's one other thing that's happening. Saturn and Jupiter, in terms of the positive side of things, are both aspecting the sign of Libra. Libra is all about balance and harmony and in your relationships. And so just the significations of Jupiter creating opportunities, positive move forward. And Saturn is that, a lot of people fear Saturn and everything, but it's really not. Saturn is our greatest teacher. It teaches us to be disciplined and grounded and practical, and gives us the initiative to do the hard work it takes to manifest your desires. So that combination of those two planets aspecting the sign of Libra is very powerful. So,
do we know how long that's going to last?
Yeah, so all of this stuff, that particular thing, I think goes on. Yeah, it goes on till next April.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
A long time.
So
we got some good stuff happening.
Yes.
Even with all the chaos.
Yes.
And I just wanted to mention, Michael, Michael's readings right now through the month of May are 20% off with the code AWAKENING, which is kind of the theme of this month.
Capital A.
Capital A.
Lowercase awakening. Awakening, the just A, capital A, and then
just
W-A-K-E.
Like at the beginning of a sentence.
Yes. Yes.
So the other thing that we have on special this month
Sure.
is learning astrology with Michael, and that's 20% off level 1 for all of you who are thinking that this is really something that is starting to make a little sense to you. Maybe you've been following us for a while and you kind of find that this is like, I'd like to understand how this works for me, and maybe my kids or my family, or some sort of situation that you have at work, something that's in play that you want to get some insight on.
Or if you just want to, create a new modality of work for yourself. You can work from home. You can do this at home, and it's just, I try to make it very practical and simple for anybody to learn. So
I think that's
really
what
encourage you.
That's what makes yours so interesting and intriguing, because I've mentioned this before. I've never been really a fan of astrology, probably Western astrology, because I always found it just kind of showed you everything, but it kind of left you going, now what? And what I love about the way Michael does astrology, which I think is kind of unique to the form of Vedic astrology that Mike's doing. I don't think it's like everybody does this. It's like he has specific remedies or action steps that you do for your chart that is very specific to what you're going through, so that instead of finding yourself feeling really ungrounded and topsy-turvy during times that we all go through that are challenging, it's like you ride on top of the chaos and maybe dip down and do it every once in a while, but you have the support of nature. And these little techniques and little action steps that you do are so easy, but they kind of make it feel like that you have, I don't know, it's like you have this sense that you're going to be all right, even when you're in the midst of really trying times. And
it's like the challenges are always there to help us grow, and the planets are doing their job to create these little challenges to help us grow. But the astrology, knowing your chart, makes it so much more gracefully to move through these challenges, responding instead of reacting, knowing that it's going to be a very short time that you have to go through this. And so that gives some peace of mind. This isn't the rest of my life. And it gives you these action steps that are very practical and simple to, as Robin was saying, just move really gracefully through your life. And yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so now we're going to go through this altar, which we haven't done before as a community. But I felt drawn to it. I mean, I think we could have done other altars. In fact, there's another one that I would like to do maybe in a couple of weeks to set up so that you have that sense of that energy as well. Since this whole month kind of seems, or this whole time is really about bringing your creative gifts into the forefront and learning how to offer them in a way that serves others. Because a lot of us, I don't know we in general, but a lot of us feel, oh, are my gifts really that valuable to people? Are they really going to touch anybody besides myself? I know I get a lot of joy out of them, but what about other people? Are they going to think that they're insignificant or silly or not necessary? And I think it's getting through that energy of doubt. This is really, for me, first, I think you need to establish a sense of connection to something other than your mind. And I think the altar is a great focal point for any spiritual practice that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to do yoga in front of the altar that I have in our bedroom. And I always, I feel very connected to the divine feminine in that situation. That altar is set up for my connection to Divine Mother, and I feel it's a real resource for me to support my work that I do. And I know that just like many people, I go through doubts and hesitations. This whole Mantra Monday thing was in my head for 2 years. I really questioned, are people really interested? Is this something that's very relevant? And then it's like, once January hit, something happened to me. And I decided, okay, I'm just going to risk it. I'm just going to go for this and see what happens. And so you've all been so supportive and enthusiastic. And I have heard stories from many of you how these altars, this work that Michael and I are sharing with you has really made a difference in your life and the lives of your family. And that's why we do this. We do this as our service. We just want you to understand that there are tools out there that really do support you. And we've been teachers for a really long time, and we have so many tools and techniques. And our spiritual work has taken us onto all of these paths that we offer you. So it all comes out of doing our inner work and being of service. This altar, I think it's lost sometimes because most people think of, oh, I want relationship, my finances, my health, or the health of my family, or my career. Those are like the major ones that most people are interested. But this is, to me, like the space element. Everything comes out of your inner work. Everything that you do to support your spiritual and personal, emotional, physical growth is the foundational pieces that give you the strength to move forward and move into the world and be more connected and more attuned to what your soul gifts are. And we all have these incredible gifts. Mm-hmm. So I think that this is a great altar to begin with. Now, we set this altar up as if it is on an east wall. And this isn't an east wall, but I wanted to set it up as it shows itself in our book, Altars of Power and Grace, and also in the diagram that I put out there for this week's blog. So if you want a little bit more explanation and you need a little help on how to set it up, I go through all the elements and the colors and all of that in the blog. And you can get that off of our website at vastucreations.com. So we do, and I just want to, and I know a lot of you know this, but I just want to say it again. I see this as an energetic, three-dimensional homing device. For once it's ignited, it connects to the divine energy through space, and it opens the doorway to more possibilities than you normally would have by setting your intention and chanting or doing. I mean, this is really your homing device or your radio transmitter to the divine. So anything you do in front of an altar is even more powerful, even more potent and successful in its way of connecting than if you weren't to use it. It is, it just has that effect, and I can share with you so many stories, people's lives changing. It works. All I can say is that it works. The first item on the altar is the water element. The water element goes in the northeast, and it can be a clear or translucent vase with either real or silk flowers. We don't use dried foliage on an altar. We want our dreams to be as alive and as fresh as the flowers that are symbolic in the vase. It can just be a bowl of water. It doesn't need to be. It could be a little bubbler fountain. We've had people do that, even though we're bringing electricity at the same time to the water element. It seems to be.
It's okay.
It seems to work. So then we go to the air element in the northwest. The air element. So the water is. Let's go back to the water. The water is like the birthing of an idea, the birthing of a concept, the birthing of a desire, a heart's desire. And it goes into the water element next in the northwest. The air element, sorry. A little confused here. The air element in the northwest. Air is, actually, we're backwards. We're backwards. I should have started with the air element.
It's okay.
Sorry, guys. First, we start with the air element. The air element can be a fan or a little, like I have this little bird sometimes that I put on the altar. It can be incense. Incense can work for air and fire. A feather, something that signifies air. It begins with the thought, the creative thought, which is the air. Sometimes I get mixed up. I can't help it. And then we go into water. Water is where it gestates. The idea gestates. The concept, the desire gestates. You're holding it in a very sacred space. And then we use the fire element. The fire element. You want to light these?
Sure.
The fire element is the spark that is needed for something creative to be grounded into physical form. The earth element, and the fire element is in the southeast. The earth element is in the southwest, and the earth element is where the feeling is grounded. The feeling, the desire is grounded. And in the very center is the space element. And the space element, there you go. The space element is where we place our heart's desires. That's the conduit, that's the opening for what it is that we do want. And I always place tchotchkes in the center. In this one I have a little rose quartz heart. I have the Sri Yantra. Oh no, this isn't the Sri Yantra, this is Ganesh. Ganesh removes the obstacles to our heart's desires. I also have this little EMF pendant, which is one of the products that we also have available. And what's cool about this pendant is it protects you from the electromagnetics when you're out in the world.
And it also can be used as a remedy for your astrological chart.
Yeah.
So we can place the Devata yantras inside along with that paramagnetic material to boost strengthen your weak planets in your chart so that you're more powerful in your manifestations.
And then the other thing I have is an Om symbol, which I just love these little symbols. And you can place these on your front door. We have one on our front door, and we carry those, and they're very inexpensive, as well as the sandalwood mantra bead necklace that we also carry, which I think is probably one of the most inexpensive ones out there. And it is
Smells amazing.
It does smell great, and because of the quality of sandalwood, it holds the vibration of the mantras. So if you use it to chant, these japa bead necklaces are for the process of japa, which is every time you make you say a mantra, you move your finger to the next bead until you are at 108 beads. And what this does is that's considered one round of chanting a mantra. And what's interesting is that you chant the mantra out loud one time, and the rest within the mind, and it sets up a vibration, and then it is infused in the necklace, and you put that necklace on, and so you're carrying that blessing with you all day long, which is very cool. And then I also have this little keystone. We use these, Michael uses these when he's doing a Vastu consultation, but this symbol is in the highest quartz content available of marble.
If you place it in your pocket, it'll help protect you as well.
And with all of these, I just want to say, and you can say, all of these, we do a sacred ceremony with all of this that we do every time something is that is created or comes into our workshop. And all the time, while these are in our possession, there are Vedic chants that are going on in that room, so they're very pure by the time when we send them off to you. They're so full of good energy, and it's just gives you a clean slate to put your intention on, and then it supports you, specifically you. And then this is for our community altar, but this went out, okay. But I'd like it lit for the process that we're doing. It's just that the lid got all messed up in there. This is, I like to write what it is that I want to ask for in pencil on unlined paper. And I think it's kind of saturated in there.
Okay.
It's not going to take. Anyway, this is what I wrote. I am grateful for all the support I have received from unseen forces that guide my life each and every day. That's a really it may not be your intention for the spirituality altar, but for me, and I feel for most of our community, that support that we connect with when we chant or meditate or do any spiritual practice is our guiding force. And on the outside, I wrote 3 words: gratitude, trust, and humility. Any change only comes from a grateful heart. If you are not grateful for what you do have, nothing new comes in. You have to find something, even if it feels very, very small, to be happy about at the level of gratitude. You're not the doer. All that is given to you is given out of love from the divine. And trust, for me, has been a challenge for me, and I think for a lot of people. And I think that for me, especially when I think about that word, it is to surrender the control and to allow something greater than myself to have reign in my life. And humility is also a big one for a lot of people, including myself. And to just know that we're not alone and we don't have all the answers, nor do we need to have all the answers, that when we surrender and open our hearts and bow down in our deepest, most vulnerable way, to let go of control, and to just know that we don't need to have all the answers. And that's where humility comes in. So Michael is going to do the activation ceremony, and I'm going to try to do this like this one more time myself. Let's see if I can get this.
Let's just close your eyes and take some long, deep, slow breaths in and out through the nose. And as you breathe in, begin to fill every cell of your being with whatever your intention happens to be. If you have it written on a paper or you haven't done that, just whatever your intention happens to be. Just fill every cell of your being and what it would feel like in your body to already have that particular thing that you wanted in your intention. Feel that sense of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment in every particle of your being. Bring a big, big smile to your face. Let's take a few more long, slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. On the in-breath, filling every particle of your being with that feeling of already having whatever it is you want. Now, you can either physically or mentally place your intention in the center of the altar. We're doing it here for you as well. The next step is using Gomukhi Mudra, the mudra of intention. The pointer finger and the baby finger sticking out and the thumb holding the two middle fingers in. And we're going to point at the center of the altar 9 times as we chant the Ganesh mantra to remove the obstacles for our intention to be manifest. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. 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 Again, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and hold it. And as you breathe out, just surrender, as Robin was saying, all those intentions to the divine. It's in divine time to bring forth the opportunities to manifest those desires. With a big, big smile, you can open your eyes. You're very blessed.
So I want to do some mantras, and then Michael is going to do a chakra sound balancing, clearing, after we do some of the mantras. So I'm going to do a couple, and then Michael is going to do a couple, and then go into the chakra balancing. We're going to start with the most low Om Namah Shivaya. We haven't done that for a while, and this moves the energy up into through the physiology. And if you know this one, please chant it with me. It's long, slow, Om Namah Shivaya. And usually, as we breathe, about 17 to 20 times a minute, depending on if you're stressed or not. And this is really bringing the breath way down, and because we're going to be doing these long, deep breaths. And if you're having trouble maintaining the sound as long as I do, don't worry, you can take another breath. It's not a big deal. And we don't chant because we're all fantastic singers and stay on
Especially
tune.
me.
We do this because of the effects on our physiology and on our well-being. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say, oh, it's just my body doesn't feel good. But everything comes from a deeper level. Mind, body, spirit is always connected. So we do this it not only affects how we feel, but it has such a deep effect. In Sanskrit, it is one of the only languages, it's probably the only language that I know, where sound and form are the same. So it is very, very powerful. And so it affects our physical world and our mental, emotional, spiritual life. Emotional, especially for me. Okay, so let's close the eyes. And we're going to do this 3 times through. You can open your eyes. I think that brings a lot of peace into the environment. I know it really smooths out my energy, and I hope it felt good to you. Now I'm going to do the Mrityunjaya mantra. Mrityunjaya is for healing. It is a very powerful mantra. It's a bit of a tongue twister. I know that I have given you the phonetic spelling of it several times, and I think this last time was in this last blog. So I'm going to do this 1 time through, and then Michael is going to do a few mantras as well. Om Triambagam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva Vantana Mrutyor Mukshiyamamrutat.
Now we're going to do the Vastu Purusha mantra. And that mantra enlivens the soul of your house, the protector of your house, your residence. Om Vastu Purushaya Namaha. Om Vastu Purushaya Namaha. Om Vastu Purushaya Namaha. And we'll do the Gayatri mantra for protection. Om. Does that start again? Hold on a second. Om Bhurvasavaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Nat Prachodayat Om Apo Jyotir Samrutam Brahma Budvasaram Om. Now we'll do some chakra clearing. Again, this is the dark moon, so perfect time to release any blocks in the chakras. We've done this before, but it's very, very powerful. And the long, slow Om Namah Shivaya that Robert did also does some chakra clearing, because each of the syllables in Na, Ma, Shivaya are from the base of the spine. Na, Ma is the sacral chakra. Then you have the solar plexus, Shi, and then Va is the heart chakra, and Ya is the throat chakra. So we'll do these together here. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and let go. And just bring your awareness to the base of the spine, and we'll chant out loud together. Lum 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 lum. The base of the spine is associated with the planet Saturn, the earth element, and it has to do with grounding. And you can just say to yourself, I am grounded. Take another deep breath in and let go. And now bring your awareness to the sacral chakra, the genital area, and we'll chant together. Bum 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 bum. This chakra is associated with the planet Jupiter, and it has to do with our creativity. And you just say to yourself, I am very creative. Now let's take another deep breath in and let go. And we move up to the solar plexus, and we'll chant together. Rum 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 rum. This solar plexus chakra is associated with the planet Mars. It's our power center. And you can say to yourself, I am very powerful and productive in my life. Take another deep breath in and let go. Now you can bring your awareness to the heart chakra. And we're going to chant the mantra Yum together. Yum 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 yum. This chakra is associated with the planet Venus and love. And you can say to yourself, I am very loving and compassionate. Take another deep breath in and let go. Bring your awareness to the throat chakra. And you can chant together. Hum 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 hum. This chakra is associated with the space element and the planet Mercury, which is all about communication. And it's also associated with gratitude. So you can say to yourself, I am very grateful. As Robin said, nothing comes without being grateful. Now, let's take another deep breath in and let go. Now you can bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows, your third eye chakra, pineal chakra. And we'll chant together the mantra Kasham. Kasham, 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 Kasham. This chakra is associated with the moon, and it has to do with your intuition. And you can just say to yourself, I am very intuitive. Another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your awareness to the top of your head, the crown chakra. This is associated with the planet Sun. And we're going to chant the sound Om together. Om, 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 Om. You can just say to yourself, I am surrendered to the divine. I see the divine in everyone I see. With a big smile, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Michael. I wanted to quickly go through some of the announcements. The first one I wanted to just mention again is the Hearts and Arts for India. This is, you can find this flyer and the Eventbrite connection to it. It's a free event on Friday, which is a very auspicious day. It's an auction, an art auction, satsang for India. And I think that it'll be a really great event. There's a lot of amazing artists, so you'll actually get a beautiful piece of art, and the money, 100% of the money is going to go to India Relief for COVID. The organization that is doing this is it's the IAHV, which is the International Association of Human Values. And the founder of IAHV, as well as the Art of Living Foundation, is our teacher, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. And this is his picture when he was very young, taken by Scott Haig, our wonderful artist photographer, who will also be auctioning off some of his art. And the other artists who are involved are award-winning artists from all over. So even if you're not interested in buying things, just coming there and bringing your energy and support for this incredible project, all done in service to India, is going to be an amazing event. So please, you can go to us on our Vastu Creations page. You'll find the link there for the Eventbrite. Again, it's a free event. You can also go to Mike's fan page, and I think I have it on my personal page as well.
Sure.
At Robin Mastro on Facebook. Okay, so then we also, two specials. We've talked about the yearly astrological reading with Michael, and the level 1 astrology course in transformational Vedic astrology with Michael. Both are 20% off with the code AWAKENING, capital AWAKENING, just the capital A. We also are continuing our special for the EMF plug. That is also on our newsletter. If you're interested, you can go there for more information. This is really needed now. This USB plug works both in the car and in your house to protect you from EMFs, 5G radiation that is bombarding our planet. At least I know it's bombarding the US, and I'm sure other places as well. And then next week, we are doing a little bit different format next week. We are doing the astrology and the mantras, but we're opening it up for Q&A. And we're going to be able to be more interactive with you, because we're going to get the computer close to us so that we can really see you guys. I mean, I can see the names coming up and how you're waving and sending us hearts, and we really appreciate all of that. But this way we can answer any of your questions you have about anything that we do. And if you're struggling with something, we can just work with you in a way that is more supportive. Of course, since there's a larger community here, it can't be personal therapy. We're offering pretty soon on our new website, which we're in the middle of designing, we're offering some coaching. Michael and I will be doing individual coaching with people. So that's coming up as well. So there's a bunch of new stuff